Good evening, everybody. My name is Jacob. This is Forgotten Voices. I have a couple of very interesting stories that I think y'all should know about. The first one is the strange case of the human Bigfoot War of 1855. Yeah, a human Bigfoot war sounds pretty crazy, so let's dive right in. So I first heard about the story from a couple different sources. Um, some, of course, are not so legitimate and a little bit sketchy, maybe, but I do think with a lot of things, if you have a lot of different sources, there usually is a little kernel of truth, as with most legends, I believe. Um, this one is about some Bigfoot fighting with some Native Americans. Um, the Choctaw Nation of To be precise, they were around the Oklahoma, Arkansas region. And the story goes, these this particular family of warriors, I believe there were six brothers, if I'm not mistaken, and they had some problems. Um, their crops were being stolen, um, and then things got worse. Their children were being stolen, and so they decided they were going to do something about it. So 30 or so warriors. Now, what should be said, these are legit warriors. These are not just, weekend warriors or whatever, like we would have in modern day society. These are battle tested, hardened, grown warriors who routinely fought, other tribes and stuff. So these are legitimate warriors. So this one particular family had, I guess he had six sons. His name is this right here, if you're watching, Hamas Tobi. So pretty interesting name. Supposedly around 7 feet tall, which is pretty tall for a. Actually, that's pretty big. Um, Maybe a little exaggeration there, maybe not. Either way, so around 30 of them went to investigate what was going on. They found what seems to be I guess, a clan of Bigfoot. Yeah, they stumbled upon them. The smell was horrendous, as you can imagine. Bigfoots are known for having a very strong scent. Um, this particular area, I guess, had a rotting corpses. They supposedly found 19 bodies, human bodies that the Bigfoot had eaten or in the process of eating. So, um, they run into them, they start to fight them. Apparently, the chief, the main chief, the big guy, he had his head cut off by one of the Bigfoot. Um, of course, this is 1855, so these Native Americans have guns, they have horses, and they have iron and swords and stuff like that. So they are able to take out the clan of Bigfoot. Um, it's a very detailed account. I don't really care to go into the details, but um, you know, I guess they were all shot. These are pretty big Bigfoot, yeah, like Bigfoot are. And I guess the very last one that was trying to get away was decapitated, and the bodies were burned. And that's the story of the Bigfoot War of 1855. Pretty interesting. I kind of believe it, to be honest with you, primarily because a lot of Native American history is passed down through oral traditions. And modern historians and the general public will usually discount anything that's out of the accepted narrative. And this is one of those cases. Bigfoot is also one of those cases or where it's just not generally accepted. But I believe this, and also because it's specific. It you know it names the people involved. It names the family. It names the tribe, and that is important, and that's why I believe it. Here's a nice little picture of a artist rendition of the Bigfoot, obviously. Speaking of artist rendition, I also found this interesting thread on the Bigfoot subreddit. Probably not the most definitive of sources, but I thought it was pretty creepy. Um, so this Bigfoot has supposedly been seen doing a spider crawl. Yeah, yeah, would probably seem really creepy. This is the an artist description of the Bigfoot spider crawl. So obviously, I don't think this is a very efficient way of getting around, especially if you're bipedal. So I don't think a Bigfoot would just walk around like this just for fun. No, if anything, it would be like stalking its prey or something. So, possible. It does bring to mind certain horror movies. So that may have, like, leached into people's minds when they see this. But there you go. That actually might be a good thumbnail someday. Um, yeah. This person says here, I'm guessing his, yeah, it would be dragging on the dirt, so I would have to say no to the suggestion. Very, interesting observation, Mr. Deleted. All right, that brings us next to our next story. It does have to do with Native Americans, not so much Bigfoot, but with Native Americans. This is the Lovelock Cave story in Nevada. Very interesting. Um, Again, according to oral traditions of Native Americans, they were having trouble with a tribe of giants. Yeah, fair-skinned redhead giants. Um, this is what they say, not so much. What modern day history and historians, they generally tend to stay away from stories like this just because it challenges the narrative. Anyway, so these cannibals were, well, these giants were known to be cannibals, and that didn't really sit well with the human Native Americans. So, after many years of conflict, this tribe right here, again, a specific name of a tribe. So it really kind of brings some truth to the story. This Paitu tribe said to destroy the Saitika. I guess that would be the giants, these redhead cannibals. So the story goes, this tribe of Native Americans teamed up with other tribes in the area to take out these cannibalistic giants that were eating their kids, and so they cornered them into a cave, a Lovelock cave there in Nevada. And I guess it's an actual site as well that you can go see. Anyway, so they surround them to this cave. They lock them in there. They chase them in there. They pretty much tell them, "Hey, you need to give up." Of course, there's no response from the tribe of giants that are in the cave. They go ahead and kill them off. Arrows, fire. So that's the end of them. So there are a couple different things going on here. It says two mummies were successfully retrieved, an 8-foot male and a 6'5" female. 8 feet is really tall. Um, 8 feet is not normal. I I'm not sure how tall Yao Ming was, but 8 feet is definitely out of the ordinary. I think if there was some, genetic uh, history with these giants from the old age, I think they may have definitely played a part in their genetics. Yeah. It says several artifacts were recovered from the museum there in Nevada. I'm sorry, the cave in Nevada, and they are at this museum. It also says they have giant redhead skulls, but they aren't on display. So if you do go see them, you have to ask them for it, and it says they'll let you go see them. So that would be really cool. But I don't know. I don't know. The Smithsonian tends to kind of confiscate all kinds of relics that are unusual. Anyway, that's the story of the Giants and the Native Americans tribe. So I found this other site, and here it says they got some skeletons that were up to 12 feet tall. Um, so yeah, definitely not normal. And they actually found a 15-inch sandal that was turned up in the Lovelock cave. Now, this is actually huge because this does give some physical proof that somebody was wearing a huge sandal. 15 feet, that's more than a foot. That's like a 15 inches, sorry. That's more than a foot. That's not a regular size human. And here's some pictures of, I guess, they found a duck decoy in there as well. Interesting stuff. Hmm. Now, we have an author, Sarah Wanigmuka. I guess, she is of Native American descent, and she wrote in her autobiography, Life Among the Pewits, Their Wrongs and Claims, in 1883, around the same area as the Bigfoot War. Well, 30 years or so, but still. So this is her story. This is her quote here. I have a dress which has been in our family for many years, trimmed with reddish hair. She wrote, I'm going to wear it sometime when I lecture. It's called the morning dress, and no one has such a dress but my family. So that's pretty interesting. Native Americans, um, dark hair is what they generally have. So where would they get this reddish hair from? I think what they're trying to imply that this was in fact the giants' red hair, and I believe them. I'm totally for it. I totally believe it. But that's about it. That's all I have for you guys today. And leave a like, subscribe. Appreciate it.